Welcome to the final Racing to Win of the season. Meeting number 88 is coming up at Sha Tin on Sunday. It's an 11-race twilight program, and after a July to September, we close it all down with racing this weekend.
A season when Hong Kong cemented its place at racing's top table draws to a close. Titans from across the planet came to challenge. Local defenders stood tall. Hong Kong's heroes proved their dominance extends beyond Sha Tin.
Romantic Warrior is going to get up by a nose.
Romantic Warrior takes out another Group 1.
California Spangle and Hong Kong in the Alquas.
Behind every champion, a master's touch, legacy cemented, and a new generation emerges. More than just racing, a grand spectacle brimming with magical moments. Racegoers witnessed breathtaking performances, now a chance to be part of the magic one last time, before a spectacular chapter draws to a close.
It has been a super season for Hong Kong horses, of course, in Hong Kong, but also globally, headed by a Romantic Warrior doing great things around the world. Paul Lally and Tom Wood are here. We've got the A-team on for the last show. And what about Sunday, Tom? There's the Trainers' Premiership to talk about. There's just so much happening.
Yeah, there's plenty happening out at Sha Tin, Mark. There'll be hopefully a big crowd there. Weather might be a little patchy. There is some rain forecast for the weekend, but shouldn't dampen the spirits out there. Of course, the awards are coming up in Hong Kong on Friday night, but plenty to get excited about the racing action. There's pretty much full fields all day.
There is indeed. It's been Golden 60 recently in the Horse of the Year Awards, Paul. Romantic Warrior surely takes the mantle this year, doesn't he?
You'd think so, wouldn't you? He's had such a stellar season, Romantic Warrior, and we'll be celebrating him in Hong Kong on Friday night. We're celebrating the best horses that we've seen around for the season, and it's as you say, it's culminating all on Sunday.
Jackpots.
Yeah, there's a good jackpot too. 12 million going into the triple trio, so that should get up to the 20 million mark. And that real popular one that we've been doing is the Quartet First Four Merge Pool in the last. 2.38 million this week.
OK, so a lot of money already on offer waiting to win. Well, on the midweek show of Racing to Win, we look back on the first half of the season. So only fair, on the last Racing to Win of the season, we look at the back half of the season.
Massive Sovereign, he's 2 lengths away. Car Ying Generation, Massive Sovereign, Galaxy Patch, Sovereign, Massive Sovereign, he wins it. Massive Sovereign for Zach Purton and Dinnership win the Derby.
Yeah, it's been a frustrating race for me, and it's been a frustrating season too, to be honest. To finally get one of the bigger ones, it's a bit of a relief, and especially for Dennis. We've had such a great association over the years. Obviously, we won a championship together, and the emotion that he showed when he won that race at that last meeting at Happy Valley that time, I'll never forget that. So to do it with him is special as well, on what looks like is a special horse.
Now he tangles with Invincible Sage, who put it to him, and he ran on by for Bowman. It's Invincible Sage in front of California Spangle, Mugen and Flying Ace, and Invincible Sage. Invincible Sage beat California Spangle.
So proud of him, and he's just settled in beautifully since arriving in Hong Kong. Had a bit of success with him last season, and I've enjoyed watching him develop through the grades and up to top class now. I think the rain affected track maybe assisted his performance, but even on a dry, I think today we would have seen a winning one.
Beauty Eternal, he's still in front. 2 red line boys, Bubble Golden 60 or miss a place. Zach Purton's going to do it again, and he's outstripped them from the front in the Champions Mile. Beauty Eternal gets his moment of glory.
The last thing I said to John was, I think this guy will like being on the fence, because he's just got that tendency to hang in all the time. And he just got into a lovely rhythm, controlled the race. And I thought the only chance I had to beat Golden 60 was to try and put a a gap on them and see how we went. And today was his day.
It's Romantic Warrior versus Japan. The 4 Japanese with him. He's in front, the Warrior of Prognosis. What a ride, what a horse, and he wins it again. Romantic Warrior beat Prognosis, Northbridge and Happy together.
He just finds a way. It's incredible. I dead set didn't have one thing go my way. I had 10 riders dead set against me and the horse, and I just had no favours at all, and he's pulled out a run like that. Incredible. He's off the bridle, just struggling in the ground a tad, and he just picks up. I'm just in disbelief.
Rebels Romance has now got the upper hand. 200 metres left to go. He's cleared out, running on, globe-trotting, equine superstar in the Godolphin blue. Rebels Romance and William Buick have beaten 5G Patch second.
Yeah, he's done it really well. You know, you always respect the local horses here in Hong Kong. And obviously, you know, he had to travel over here and everything else, so the team had done a great job with him. I thought he looked magnificent beforehand, like he always does, and you know, the race kind of went the way I hoped it would, and it suited him. You know, that sort of even gallop the whole way and just kept building it up. So he's become a very uncomplicated horse, and he's a real international superstar.
Romantic Warrior the outside, Alligator Blood at the 100. Romantic Warrior, Mr. Brightside, still Alligator Blood. Mr. Brightside coming out of the Romantic Warrior is going to get up by a nose.
This horse is pretty special to me, and I mentioned to come to the Cox Plate, I think he'd be the perfect horse. I meant what I said, and Danny, credit to Peter and Danny, takes a hell of a lot of balls to come out of Hong Kong with all the prize money. One of the best racing jurisdictions in the world, and they come here and showcase their boy. I reckon he's got more to come too.
California Spangle who takes over. The Cantonese Bullet hits the front here from Diligent Harry. Star of Mystery in pursuit along with Bill Heil, but it's California Spangle and Brendan Abdallah. Star of Mystery is going to have one last crack at him, but it is Hong Kong in the Alquoz.
It's pretty special. You know, if you asked me 12 months ago would I be in Dubai World Cup night representing Hong Kong and a horse like him, would have told you were dreaming, you know, and I've been enjoying Hong Kong a lot, and I pulled up and, you know, Frankie said well done, and well, I'm 33, I remember being a kid watching Frankie and on the world stage, and to now knock him off in a Group 1 on Dubai World Cup night, like, this is just things you dream of.
Starting to sprint out as Romantic Warrior. Namur running on Soul Rush. It's still Romantic Warrior. Romantic Warrior, he's hanging on. Oh, he's a star. Romantic Warrior takes out another Group 1.
You just witnessed a very, very good horse. We're so proud to showcase him here in Japan. And I'm glad he stood up and was counted today. But everything went really, really well. Very proud of the whole team. We couldn't have done it without them, and everyone that made us feel so welcome. It was a very special win.
What a day that was, Tom. Romantic Warrior won, then disappeared for 10 minutes in the alleyways under Tokyo Racecourse.
Yes, he did, but what a feat it was for Hong Kong, and Peter Lau willing to travel that horse through the season, Paul. Not only once, but to do it twice. No mean feat for Connections there.
No, definitely. He had such a good season. He was only beaten once, and that was his fresh up run in Australia when he ran fourth. And a lot of people wrote him off in Australia after that fourth, but then he just showed them how good he was in the Cox Plate.
That was in the Turnbull. He was a bit keen in that race, but he just went bang, bang, bang. After that, we have got your first half of the season highlights on the show midweek, Paul. What is your season highlight for the back nine?
Well, I have to do Romantic Warrior because he's been such a star for Hong Kong as well. He had 6 starts this season. He's won 5 of them, and I think this was probably his best win that he did have here in Hong Kong. You can see him really finishing off nicely here. And the thing with him, he didn't have any favours. He was wide. He had prognosis on his inside from Japan and really dug deep, and a fantastic win from him. And that just showed his fighting qualities, I think. After this, he went to Tokyo and, of course, won over there. Prior to that, he'd been to Australia and won. So just a fantastic season for him.
All right, very fitting memory for Paul. What about you, Tom?
I'm going the IJC. Vincent Ho, of course, he's had a bit of an up and down season, has Vincent. He's obviously had that fall over in Japan the off-season last year, missed out on going to the UK, but he picked up 20 points, taking the International Jockeys Championship over International Weekend. Of course, no Tony Cruz award for him this year. Of course, he had a suspension sort of earlier on and had that nasty fall on the all-weather as well, but he'll be looking forward to a good off-season, but no rest for the wicked there. He's off to Japan again and the UK.
He is, so busy man is Vincent Ho. Tom mentioned the Tony Cruz Award. Angus Chunga's going to get his wish. We heard him on Racing to Win going back a few months, saying he would love to win that in his second season of riding. No matter what happens on Sunday, he can't be caught. So Angus Chung, the Tony Cruz Award winner for this year. But our focus after the break turns to racing at Sha Tin on Sunday. We'll have a closer look at the feature race. And welcome back to the season finale of Racing to Win. We've had quite a bit of success with the last run reminders since they were introduced in the segment on the show, Paul. So no pressure, but we need one more winner.
Yeah, very popular. We're going to go race 7 here, number 2, Steps Ahead. Look, he's been racing really consistently, this horse. He's had 3 starts. He's had a couple of seconds and a third. I don't think he's genuine because he's run into some pretty good horses along the way as well. Storming Dragon and Greenwich sort of beat him last time here, and you can see they sort of got first run on him. I think next season they might even try him up to 1,600 metres, but he's sticking at 1,400 here. He finished off this race really nicely, and look, a win looks really close for him, I think. He has been beaten favourite 2.8, 2.4. He'll probably start favourite again, but I think he's got his opportunity, and he looked strong to the line as well. He was finishing off really, really good here. So I think he can win. Race 7, number 2, Steps Ahead.
Will be an important winner too for Francis Loy in the Trainers' Premiership, which we will talk about more shortly. Firstly, though, these are the meeting details for Sunday, where it is meeting 88 on the A course. They're all on the turf, and we get underway at 4 o'clock. The race that we focus on, the Class 1, the Hong Kong Racehorse Owners Association Trophy over the 1,600 metres. Start time for that is 7:35. There's a big closing ceremony after the last race too. But race number 8 has moments in time. He's had a couple of runs in group races recently. Sword Pointers on the class drop. He's only having his second start outside of group racing this season. Cheng Cheng Glory has the blinkers off and the visor going on. Telecom Fighters minus the cheek pieces. Atala Bajil goes from the 1,400 to the 1,600 metres. Alpha St Paul's comes back in trip. And CP Brave and the Best Peach numbers 9 and 10. CP Brave has raced better over 1,800 metres so far this season. Noted leaders here, Paul, Telecom Fighters and all 4 St Paul's.
There's actually 6 of the 10 horses have led in the past this season. Those 2 you mentioned, Sword Point's led, Money Catcher's led, Cheng Cheng Glory's led, Moments in Time, of course, is led as well. So, look, those 6 will be vying it out. So, although it's only a field of 10, I think it's still going to get a good speed in this race.
Can really line the form up too through the horses leading into this race because, Tom, they've clashed time and time again. 3 of them here. Telecom Fighters fades after leading at his favourite trip. Money Catcher doesn't race too bad course and distance, has placed 3 from 5, but is he going well enough? And Moments in Time has really improved. Since he went across to Happy Valley, it seems to have made him as a racehorse.
Yeah, and he was good here this night as well, considering how sort of the farcical the first part of the race was run here, 29.23 off the front, and then he with his stablemate Helene Feeling, who of course was beaten on Wednesday night at Happy Valley, whipped around and took control of the affair and just seemed to maybe just peaked late on his run here. He was right there to challenge and tried hard, but I do wonder, Paul, if he is a better Happy Valley horse than Sha Tin at this point.
Yeah, that's sort of the record suggests that, but he's run some reasonable races at Sha Tin. That race when he went quite quick in front there and was just beaten late. So look, I think he's quite versatile, but I see what you mean. And you know, the wins have been at Happy Valley.
Can't have Telecom Fight as a money catcher. He's had a terrible season. Like, look how good he went last season. He's not been the same horse by any stretch of the season at all.
It just hasn't come up money catcher. Moments in Time's last two starts at Sha Tin have been the Queen Mother Memorial and the Champions and Chaser over 1.5 miles too. So he's coming back in trip on them. Paul, we've got Sword Point, who's also had a rather disappointing season. Alpha St Paul's just didn't run 1800. Cheng Cheng Glory ends up running 4th. This was an amazing win by Galaxy Patch, and Cheng Cheng Glory will be very happy not to see his name in the form guide.
Yeah, definitely. And being over the 1,600 metres, that looks absolutely ideal for Cheng Cheng Glory, because that shows the 1,600 here at Sha Tin. He's had 8 goes at it for 5 wins. So I think he's the horse to beat from barrier number 2.
You have a look at his form this season. He's been in great order. Francis Loy again. He's had 5 wins from this horse out of his 12 start season so far. But he's actually got his 6th different jockey on this season. So it's definitely been jockey roulette over the last few weeks with this guy.
I was about to say exactly the same thing. Another new rider for him this week, and that new rider, Tom, has ridden him in some track work. Zach Purton takes the ride.
Yeah, down the back straight here at Sha Tin. This going back to the 8th, so a little earlier on. And here he is with Holy Lake. He's going around on the program, but he was disappointing last start and he hasn't trialled well either. But I think still Cheng Cheng Glory, Paul, the one to beat.
I think so. He's had a really good season and he's really made that 1,600 metres at Sha Tin his own. You can see it there for yourself, the distance, 8 starts, 5 wins, a second, and that second was a pretty close second as well, and then a couple of placings. So he really likes the 1,600 metres here, there's no doubt.
And he is trained by Francis Loy, and the battle, the duel, is going to go right down to the wire between Francis Loy and Pierre Ong.
Great horse, golden 60. Galaxy patched. What a day, Pierre Ong. Jockey trying to fight. Co-partner Prance. There's 5 in a row.
Important winner for Francis Loy in Trainers Championship.
Stable plan for that. Hopefully we can hang on to the last day.
Comes at it now. The pair of them hit it. Oh, it's close.
We've got a bit of time left on the show, Tom, so let's talk more about the Trainers Championship right now. 1 in at 67 Pierre, 66 Francis, and there is the round out of the top 5 also.
Yeah, so there's nothing between those two. Ricky Hughes had a real strong finish to the season. He, of course, won the title a couple of seasons ago now, but he's hit 59 for the season. Tony Cruz has certainly picked up as well in the back half, and Danny Shum rounding out the top 4. Incidentally, Paul, Danny Shum actually the leading trainer at Happy Valley this time round as well. So it's been the last 2 years that Casper Founds hasn't had the leading trainer title at Happy Valley. Yeah,
he's always done well though, isn't he? He's always there or thereabouts and does love the Valley. But look, this is a fantastic sort of a race within a race, isn't it, down to the end of the season here. And there's no question in my mind, Francis Lloyd's got the strongest book of the two, quite a bit. You look at here, I've got 5 of his runners on top. So he's got the big guns out. Call Me Glorious will be short in that page. Packing Treadmill's also in the same race. Steps ahead, Cheng Cheng Glory. Packing Hermold was very impressive on debut. I think he can win the last with Pachitheta, so he's got a really strong end of the card there, I thought.
Yeah, he's certainly lining up some of his good horses at the final meeting. I think Packing Treadmill's definitely going to appreciate the drop back to 1,200. That so far is his best trip. And keen to see what Packing Angel can do, because he has trialled well. And France has had a great season, Mark. Debuting horses, they've debuted and they've generally won.
They have, as we see Pierre's runners on screen. Tommy was 16 in front at one stage, Pierre, and Francis has chipped away. Duke Y and Beauty Waves happened to win the first couple from his stable on Sunday. That sets up a big back half of the program with Francis Arsenal, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly does. He had a real sort of lull through, I think it was sort of February, March, a couple of real quiet months for Pierre in terms of winners, and Francis has been able to pick up the momentum through that. Fighting Machine, I think, has got some sort of a chance. Paul, Bits Superstar's an interesting first starter who's trialled well.
Yeah, he's trialled well, so look, he's out there as well. We've got good old Medical Lead, of course.
Equaling 20 again.
Yeah, so he's there. Ican's been racing consistently. There's no doubt that, in my mind, that France has got the strongest book, but Pierre could pick up 1 or 2 just to make it interesting going into it.
be great if we get to the last and it comes down to that. So that is what is coming up as far as the trainers' battle goes. Back to race number 8 we go, Paul, and Tullabajil here going back to 1,600 metres, running 5th last time. Tomodachi Kokoro leads for home, but the race ends up being won by the horse diving back to the rail, Chu Chow Spirit.
Yeah, and look, it was a nice enough run from him. He's had a good season. He's had 13 starts here. He's won 2. He's been placed in 8 overall. So he's quite a consistent horse. Look, he'll get back, but the race will really be run to suit, I think, with all its sort of front runners in the race. So I've included him on a minor line.
Yeah, course and distance winner. I think he's going to appreciate the weight relief here, being up in grade as well. He carried top weight last time round. He's only carrying 126 here, so I think that's certainly a positive for him this time round.
We head off to Chungfa now. Tom, this is the Golden Scenery trialling in just a field of 3, but despite the fact there's just a trio of them in this, it's Duquai right of screen, Wunderbar, who's done a great job in a short time in the middle, and the Golden Scenery right there to their inside.
Yeah, and for a horse that last season didn't win a race from 14, he's had 13 starts, so Sunday will be his 14th, and he's had a couple of wins and a handful of minor placings as well. I thought he moved well enough in this trial, Paul, and he's another one. Well, he's carrying a bit more weight this time round, of course, coming out of the minimum at handicap conditions in Group 3 last start.
Yeah, his last winner was off 95. He's sort of at 97, so he's sort of getting down to that rating well as well.
Before we get your selections for that race, Paul, here is the Jockey's Premiership. It was won some time ago by Zach Karras, Hugh Bowman, Andrea Etzine. Angus Chung's made his way into the top 5.
Yeah, really good for Angus. He's had a great season with those 46 wins as well. Look, Karras is just so consistent as well, you know, and he's second once again. He just keeps riding fantastically.
And considering up until, 4-5 weeks ago, hadn't ridden a group race winner all season up until these final few Group 3 races.
Absolutely. So he sits in second on Karras. It'd be great to see him. He deserves to get 101 season too. He's gone close a couple of times. What did you say, about 92, 93?
Yeah, 92 so far last year, I think. Yeah.
All right, that is a look at the Jockey's table. Paul, what are your selections for race 8?
Thought Francis Loy could win this race. Cheng Cheng Glory, course and distance specialist. Moments in time, he can just get a nice run in behind with Hugh Bowman aboard. Look, the Best Peach and the Tullabajil, both these two horses will have the race run to suit. They'll be finishing off strongly. 4-1-10-7.
Went the 4 as well, Cheng Cheng Glory. I think he can take the last here for Francis Loy and Zach Purton. The blinkers are off, the visors going on. Did, of course, want to lug in a little bit 2 runs ago and stayed on well last start. He's on top ahead of Tullabajil, and this horse here who is trained by David Hall. The stable's been going well in recent months. A course and distance winner. Never won in this grade, but he's been close. CP Brave's had a good season and moments in time there as well. 4-7-9-1.
That has been race number 8. A reminder that all the races are previewed on the website, hkjc.com, for a race-by-race analysis, kick on audio and video. One last best bet to go, Paul.
Yeah, save it till the last race as well. A horse called Patcha Theta, trained by Francis, so if it's coming down to the wire, I'll be cheering this one home. But look, he ran second at his last start. This was behind Sunlight Power. He's been in fantastic form as well. He's got to carry the 135, but he carried the 135 here. So he's shown that he's a horse that can carry weight. He looked the winner about now, and he just sort of got run down late. So these two are well clear. In this race, Sunlight Power doesn't appear, and I think he can win the last. So Hugh Bowman and Francis Loy with Patcha Theta. As far as the long shot, we're going to go the race beforehand, so we're going to save the best to the last 2. Smart City caught the eye stepping up in distance last time, and we'll do the play in race number 5. New stable for Kaying Warrior with First Love and View of the World. A QQP 147.
Best, another Francis Loy. Galloper, it's steps ahead with Zach Purton riding. I just think he just left him too much to do last time out over the last 400 metres. The top 2 got away in the straight. Greenwich was able to knock off Storming Dragon here, but he was still closing. But I just think he had too much work to do over the last 400 metres to steps ahead. So hopefully he can get across in front in race number 7. The value is Happy Daily, such a well-rated horse. Vincent Ho riding from a good draw. I think that's key, the draw. And Call Me Glorious, Invincible Missile in Class 5, steps ahead, packing her mod there in the all-up for the afternoon.
Best bet, good. Barry number 6. Better run last time, went second, an improving type. Zach Purton, John Size. Great Spirit comes out of the race behind, steps ahead, beat him home, but thought he might be a chance at odds to maybe turn the tables in the play. Race 4, QQP 4, 9 and 12. That has been racing to win. Here is the diary with 1 page left on it. 3:30 trackside live for the Hong Kong Racehorse Owners Association Trophy Day, Tom, and then that's it.
Yeah, that's it for the season, and looking forward to another round next year.
Yeah, exactly. Put a fork in it. We're all done.
Thanks, boys. Thanks to you. We'll see you at Sha Tin, and then see you in September on Racing to Win.